Why, hello, you lovely, lovely people. It is the HD, that's right. It's the head Anthony Walker here for another episode of the Wrestling Matters podcast. And today we're going to talk about Raw, Smackdown, TNA main points, as we always do. And by the way, it was a bloody good TNA this week. Besides other stuff as well, other opinions and that. And I want to give you an opinion on what I saw this week involving Michael Cole and Dolph Ziggler, but that'll be later on. I want to kick off this week though with the main talking point in the world of wrestling, Alberto Del Rio. Everybody know he was vocal about being, about leaving WWE once his contract expired. Well, from what it seems, ladies and gentlemen, he got his wish a little early, because according to WWE.com, thanks to a backstage altercation and some unprofessional conduct, WWE proceeded to fire him. Now, what really happened, I don't know. Like I said, all this is rumours. They're all saying that he slapped an employee, he got into a confrontation with an employee, catering, and this, that, and the other, and all sorts of stuff that you probably, hear and not hear. And apparently it was a social media worker that he got in touch with, that he got into a confrontation with, and apparently the social media worker got a little bit mouthy with him, and he ended up slapping him. Now, it is expected, now he's left, that Del Rio, as always, will have a 90-day non-compete clause in his contract, which would apply to AAA and TNA, who both have interest in him. We have noted that AAA is expanding into the United States soon. So, there's options there for him to go, or for him to go down to. He could go to TNA, he can go back to AAA in Mexico. I don't know, but despite the fact that he's been fired from WWE, he's been very vocal about leaving anyway. He made that crystal clear in February when he was leading up to, or being the proverbial dog, or the bone, if you will, for Batista leading into WrestleMania. I don't blame Alberto Del Rio for being frustrated. I've said this on many episodes of the podcast. I don't blame him for being frustrated. I mean, once upon a time, this guy was, he ran Smackdown. He was the world champion. He came to Raw, became the WWE champion. He won the biggest Royal Rumble ever, 40-man Royal Rumble, and it was like they demoted him to mid-card after all that. I don't blame him, the direction. I mean, it's WWE logic, WWE booking, WWE logic, and it amazes me that they would use or take a talent like Del Rio, unless Del Rio in the past has done something to make WWE act like this. I don't know. Like I said, these are all just rumors and all just my opinions. But like I said, back in February, he made it February time at least of this year, he made it very vocal that he wanted to leave WWE anyway. The question is now he's left, or he's been fired, where will he go? Who knows? But it's very interesting now to see where Del Rio goes once his 90-day non-compete clause comes up. I don't know. A lot of things that are happening. The question is, where does Del Rio go from here? WWE also issued another statement about him, and they did it on Twitter as well. @Viva Del Rio is responsible for his own actions. If you're angry at anyone, be angry at Alberto. There's no excuse for a pro athlete not to conduct themselves in a professional manner. So there you have it. I mean, it seems that he basically crossed the line. And not only that as well, usually when they let people go, WWE, they always say best of luck in your future endeavors. They didn't do it with Alberto. They didn't say anything about that, or anything in that remorse or in that caliber towards Alberto. So I think WWE glad to see the back of him. Where that goes now for Alberto, like I say, AAA are interested in him. TNA seem to be interested in him, but the red TNA going network-wise at least, they might not be around for very much longer. So, in my opinion, the favourites at the moment would be AAA. But you never say never in this business. In the wrestling business, at least. He may very well end up in TNA sometime this year, once his 90-day clause expires. So, like I said, it's very interesting to see where he ends up. Will he end up in AAA? Will he end up in TNA? Or possibly, will he go back to MMA? Because before he went to WWE, he was in MMA. What will happen next? I didn't like the guy I didn't like his character, the old Destiny thing. But he was a talent in the ring, never denied that. I just didn't like, that old Destiny thing. It's my destiny. That thing got so OP after WrestleMania when he lost to Edge. I mean, his destiny was to win the Royal Rumble, the 40-man Royal Rumble. He did that. And then he goes on to WrestleMania to win the title. That's his destiny, and that would have been destiny completed. But he didn't. Not only did he lose the match to Edge at WrestleMania, he wasn't even in the main event. He was the first match on the card. And then that that whole, it's my destiny, got so overplayed and overpowered, and it just got boring after a while. I think CM Punk said it best on one segment on Raw before. You went, good God, if you say it's my destiny one more time, I'm going to start drinking. I think that's what it made everybody would. If I heard that one more time, I would have been fucking, I don't know, I'd have probably jumped off a cliff somewhere or something stupid like that. But it got to a point that it made you want to bang your head against a brick wall, but it didn't, you know. Like I said, what's next for Del Rio? I guess we'll find out once his 90-day release clause expires. To the Monday Night Raw main talking points. Now, Raw kicked off with the Authority coming out and addressing SummerSlam, but first of all, they're addressing the WWE Network, saying that, do you have $9.99 on you, which is £6 over here, English money anyway. Then they were asking if the guys would like to sign up for the money for the network and whatnot, and promoting the match, you know, with Brock and John at SummerSlam coming up, and Stephanie versus Brie Bella, blah 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 blah. Basically looking for some ways to try and promote the network even further, because apparently the subscriptions weren't up to par what WWE were looking for. But after all that, Randy Orton, thrilled at having proven that Roman Reigns is mortal the previous week, would just like to see you watch him finish the job at the collision that they're going to have at SummerSlam. The big dog interrupted though. The Authority's pitch at the opening of Raw's challenge to the Apex Predator, but Kane, who never got his one-on-one match with Reigns last week thanks to Orton, preempted the Viper's strike and was named as Reigns' opponent rather, for the night instead. And the match turned into a last man standing match between the two. No false start this time. Reigns knocked off the Authority's resident demon Kane in the last man standing match, or the last man standing rematch of a bout that never got out of the blocks the previous week. With no Randy Orton there to interrupt Reigns, the big dog came out swinging and was met in kind by the step-weeding, stick-swinging Devil's favourite demon. It's a mouthful. Himself a veteran in numerous last man standing match contests. After a long bloody battle, Kane nearly sent Reigns to hell itself when he reversed the Superman punch into a chokeslam through a table. Yet despite Triple H's demands that Kane bring his inner demon to the fight, all the hellfire from the former World Heavyweight Champion could muster wasn't enough. Reigns, however, was more than up to task, dropping Kane with a particularly gruesome spear to earn the 10-count victory and the win over the Devil's favourite demon. Dean Ambrose versus Alberto Del Rio in a Beat the Clock challenge. For once, Dean Ambrose is right on message with that. The Authority once looking to add an X Factor to Ambrose's SummerSlam match with Seth Rollins. The corporate powers settled on a Beat the Clock challenge, where the winner gets to choose the stipulation for the match at SummerSlam, and Ambrose did not disappoint in his bout against Alberto Del Rio to start the proceedings. Not only did the Lunatic Fringe defeat Mexico's greatest export in the time-controlled contestant, he did so in a timely, though not unbeatable fashion. He just had to survive a brutal assault on his still injured shoulder to do so. Del Rio beat on Ambrose's arm like he owed him money, rendering Ambrose's shoulder too compromised for him to hit the dirty deeds on his left side. So the Lunatic Fringe simply flipped the script, reversing the cross arm breaker and particularly direct moment to hit his signature strike with the other arm to pin Del Rio for the 1-2-3 at a time 15.24 seconds. 15 minutes, 0.24 seconds. And as you well know, ladies and gentlemen, that was Del Rio's last match on Raw. I'm not even going to talk about what happened in the Rusev Sin Cara match because we didn't get to see it. Because once again, whoever's pulling the strings back there, freaking goofballs, had the match finish. As a matter of fact, the whole match was on the WWE app. Freaking retarded. But the only thing we got to see out of that match was the aftermath with Rusev and Swagger, which was complete bullshit. God, how are you going to put a match and have it finish on the fucking app? I do not know. Anyway, I digress. And as I predicted last week on Smackdown, Luke Harper will not be interfering in the match between Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam, because he lost the match to Jericho just like Eric Rowan did last week on SmackDown. At SummerSlam, did I say SmackDown? SummerSlam I meant, because of what happened last week on Raw. And it was basically the carbon copy of the Eric Rowan match. Nothing much to say. It was a back and forth match, and as we all know, Luke Harper makes one mistake and Jericho gets the victory and goes on to face Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam alone. So hopefully Bray Wyatt can get a victory over Chris Jericho alone. Now he has to prove if he wants that, he has to beat the former undisputed champion, former first ever undisputed champion by himself. One bad moment of Monday Night Raw was during the Fandango Diego match. Fandango coming out with Hornswoggle as his dance partner. You want to be talking about being scarred for life? Good grief. Anyway, on to the next match, which saw Heath Slater and Seth Rollins in the Beat the Clock Challenge. Now it was supposed to be Rob Van Dam, but the Authority tried to stack it in favour of their man, so to speak, Seth Rollins, but a surprise took place. Cue the pyro and guitar solos. Heath Slater has beaten Mr. Money in the Bank, the one-man band, currently in the midst of the second act of resurrecting his career, I assume, notched what may be the biggest victory of his career when he defeated Seth Rollins in the Beat the Clock Challenge, thereby giving Dean Ambrose control over the battle between the former Shield mates at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. To be fair, Slater, who was the Authority named replacement for Rob Van Dam, owes Ambrose some backstage passes to the next show. It was a distraction by the Lunatic Fringe that opened the door for the former WWE Tag Team Champion to pin Rollins before the 15-minute 42-second benchmark expired. Ambrose lurked around ringside for the entire match and went so far as to lock off Rollins' coveted briefcase and destroyed the contract by ripping it up, allowing Slater to pin the enraged high flyer with plenty of time to spare. Advantage Ambrose for SummerSlam. And last but not least, the SummerSlam contract signing between Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon, which from what I heard was probably that and last week's episode was probably the lowest rated segments on Raw's show in 2 weeks. It seems that no one gives a damn about this match, quite frankly. I'd like to see it, but I don't think no one cares about the story build up to it. They just want to see the match. It is a time-honored tradition that WWE's contract signings do not typically end in a civil fashion, but give the Authority credit for trying to keep the Stephanie McMahon, Brie Bella sit-down businesslike for as long as possible. That being said, cooler heads did not exactly prevail, and after some primarily fighting words, pen to paper was put and a brawling began to at its earliest, at least. It wasn't Brie who caught the beating though, but Nikki Bella, who Stephanie clobbered in the head with a microphone and planted with a pedigree, while Triple H blocked Brie into a corner with the signing table. Moments later, Brie broke free and suffered the same fate as her sister. I'm not even going to go into a promotion about the failed at the moment WWE Network, but I will say this: Stephanie's going to get what's hers at SummerSlam, that's for sure. TNA's main talking point number 1. The TNA World Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley joins MVP and Kenny King in the ring. MVP says Lashley is a destroyer, referring to Lashley's victories over greats like Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy. Bobby Roode interrupts and issues a challenge to Lashley for the World Heavyweight Championship. Kenny King and MVP attack Roode until Eric Young and Austin Aries make the save. It'd be interesting to see what happens next. Maybe they were right. Maybe people that I talked to were right. Maybe Bobby Roode is going to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. I got told it was Austin Aries. I read on the dirt sheet it was Austin Aries. But maybe they're pushing Bobby Roode to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see where it happens and where it takes place. EC3 and Tommy Dreamer enter the Impact Zone first. This was for the Hardcore War match. Mike Tenay explains that there will be no pins, no submissions until all partners have entered the match. A new partner will enter every 90 seconds. I suppose you could say it was like War Games back in the day, except without the cages. Dreamer attacks early, but EC3 gains control of the match after shoving Dreamer knee first into the steel steps. Dixie Carter and Mo look on as EC3 takes the action back to the ring. Dreamer grabs a Singapore cane and uses it to and uses it to lock on a hold that sends EC3 flying over his shoulder. Tommy Dreamer mounts EC3 in the corner and lands a series of punches. Christie then announced the next competitor, which is Rhino. Rhino rushes into the ring and drops Dreamer with a trash can lid. Rhino dominates Dreamer and sends him crashing hard onto the mat. Rhino tosses the cane to EC3. EC3 smacks Dreamer, then tosses the cane back to Rhino. Rhino chokes Dreamer with the cane and as Devon enters. Devon tosses the trash can over the top rope and attacks Rhino and EC3 immediately. Devon sends the trash can lid crashing down over the head of EC3. Snitsky then enters the match, allowing EC3, Rhino and himself to gain control until Bully Ray storms the ring, unleashes a savage assault. Bully uses the steel chain to bust open EC3's head. Bully and Devon are in command. Ryklon, spelled Ryklon, which I'm guessing is Ezekiel Jackson, enters by slamming a chair across the back of Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer before powering Devon to the mat with a hard slam. EC3 screams from the center of the ring as the team scatters bodies all around. EC3 is choking Bully Ray with a steel chain as Team 3D's mystery partner is revealed. Al Snow, that's right, the man known for his head, the mannequin head that is, jumps into the ring. The crowd starts chanting "We Want Head," and it was just like the old days in ECW, back in the day when he had that Breathe song. Everybody's got mannequin heads in the crowd, starts bumping away. It was great, man, it really was. Ezekiel Jackson and Snitsky send Al Snow crashing outside. Then Bully Ray flies from the top rope and connects with a crossbody on both of them. Rockstar Spud slides into the ring and hits Dreamer with a cane that has no effect on Dreamer, by the way, but pays dearly for his efforts as Snow and Devon leave the ring to get the tables. Ryklon and Snitsky attack and double team Devon. Al Snow launches himself from the middle rope and connects with a moonsault, taking down Devon assassins, so to speak. In the ring, Rhino makes one mistake, gets 3D'd, and Team 3D get the win. After the match, Bully Ray calls out Dixie Carter and says he will put her through a table tonight. Dixie promises that's not going to happen and that King Mo will knock Bully Ray out. King Mo more like King Ho. TNA President Dixie Carter enters the arena on the arm of King Mo. EC3, Rockstar Spud, Rhino, the man known as Ezekiel Jackson, and Snitsky follow. The crowd boos. Dixie, who says, "Right back at you." Dixie says EC3's team is worthless. She fires Big Zeke and Snitsky, commanding they go out of their ring. Then she fires the fans and tells them to pick your shit up and get out. The crowd boos until Team 3D and Tommy Dreamer enter the ring, carrying a table with Dixie painted on it. The sea of boos changes to the table chants. Bully Ray says Dixie is the most hated woman in professional wrestling. Tommy Dreamer takes the mic and King Mo knocks him out. Ish. The teams collide and Dixie escapes the ring. The Impact roster, however, blocks the escape route of Dixie Carter, because as Dixie Carter and Rockstar Spud turn round, she sees the whole roster led by Gail Kim, Eric Young and Bobby Roode. Then Tommy Dreamer rolls her back into the ring. Devon hoists her up from onto Bully Ray after, and they edit this bit out, after Devon kisses her on the lips, like, I don't know, probably the kiss of death kind of thing, okay? They edited that bit out, TNA. Good job, morons. From the turnbuckle, Bully Ray powerbombs her, Dixie Carter, through a table. It happened. The crowd erupts with TNA chants and table chants, and the crowd just goes completely ballistic as Impact goes off the air. Now, I want to say credit to TNA as well for putting on an epic show, because that was actually a good show. A shout out to Samoa Joe, who is the new X Division champion also. And yeah, round of applause for TNA for putting on a great show as well. I liked the show. I liked TNA this week. I liked it a lot. Now, breaking news according to TNA's website, theimpactwrestling.com, it says that Dixie Carter broke her back after taking that powerbomb. Now, whether that's true, whether that's a storyline thing, I don't know. But, you know, it's happened, and it has happened what it's happened, so to speak. Now, what happens next to TNA, we have to tune in this week, but I can't wait for the aftermath. That's all I've got to say. Kudos to TNA for putting on a good show. I liked it. Smackdown main point. Smackdown began with Dean Ambrose in the ring. Now, after winning the Beat the Clock challenge on Raw, Dean Ambrose earned the right to pick the special stipulation for the upcoming match between Seth Rollins and him at SummerSlam. And while Rollins made it clear that no matter what stipulation he picked, his adversary would meet the end at the colossal pay-per-view available on the WWE Network, yada yada yada, as well, besides pay-per-view, Ambrose declared that their contest at SummerSlam would be a lumberjack match. Mr. in the Money in the Bank then broke the news that he had being given the right to pick his former business associate SmackDown opponent for the evening. That opponent would be Randy Orton. More on that later on. In case you saw Monday Night Raw and saw the epic video that was built on John Cena versus Brock Lesnar for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam, watch it again and again and again, because the beast incarnate and the animal of the WWE, the true animal of the WWE, will face him at SummerSlam. Make sure you watch that video. It was sort of UFC-like to me, but it was epic nonetheless, and it seems that they are both ready for their epic clash at SummerSlam. I can't wait for that. After ramming Seth Rollins into both steel ring post and steel steps, in the height of their extremely heated matchup, Seth Rollins triumphant over Dolph Ziggler with a curve stomp. Hopefully, Mr. Ambrose was watching that, which I'm sure he was, despite getting ready for his match with Dean Ambrose. Speaking of the match, Dean Ambrose apparently defeated Randy Orton by disqualification. In the final moments of a furious SmackDown main event, Dean Ambrose countered Randy Orton's RKO to hit the Viper with Dirty Deeds before he could pick up a 3-count win. Seth Rollins pulled him out of the ring, forcing a disqualification in the process. Mr. Money in the Bank then unleashed a vicious post-match beatdown attack to his war-torn adversary and opponent at SummerSlam. While Ambrose fought back with everything he had left, the 2-on-1 assault from Rollins and Orton untimely proved too much. In the end, Rollins humiliated Ambrose by dosing him with a fan's soda before putting the lights out in the Ambrose household, so to speak, with a curb stomp. Gets out as a revenge for what happened on Monday Night Raw, because if you've seen what happened on Monday Night Raw, not only did he rip up the contract, Dean Ambrose, rip up the Money in the Bank contract, he also proceeded to pour fans' stuff into the briefcase, which was soda, popcorn, and JBL's hat. Need I say more? Right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the SmackDown, the Raw, and the TNA main talking points. I will be back. I'm going to run a little promo, and then I'll be back with a pipe bomb. That's right, a pipe bomb. Not too much of a pipe bomb, but it's a pipe bomb nonetheless, so stay tuned. And I'll be back after this.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change! Are you ready?
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah! Get some man! Ooh, yeah!
With Kenny Killer.
Hey, yo! We're in the big D-Day, baby! And we are live! Woo!
I'm the Goddamn Sugar Should.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold Simpson!
Download the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast now at iTunes. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Anthony Walker, the host of the Wrestling Matters Podcast, and you can now check out the Wrestling Matters Podcast on youtube.com/HAW Wrestling Matters. You can now go to Podomatic.com, iTunes, and now also you can go to a new one. That's right, a new site, Stitcher Radio. That's right, we're on Stitcher Radio right now. I'm on Stitcher Radio right now, and you could be too. Get yourself on there, download their app, the Stitcher Radio app, or the Stitcher app, whatever it is. Make sure you download their app, and you can listen to it on your phone, anywhere you want, at any time you want, at any place you want. That's the Wrestling Matters Podcast now on YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and Stitcher Radio. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
In anybody else's hands, this is a microphone. In my hands, it's a pipe bomb.
I want to talk about your social media following. It's huge.
Yeah.
One of the most popular superstars in all of WWE on social media. Is this because do WWE fans want to follow you? Or is it because you're sort of catering to that fan base?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestling Matters podcast. And yeah, you heard one question there. That was a little clip, a little audio clip from Dolph Ziggler's interview with Michael Cole this week. Now, I didn't play the full interview. I'm not going to play the full interview. It was just two of the most stupidest questions that I've heard in my life from Cole. The first one there you've just heard there, and I'm going to do a pipe bomb on this one right now, and I'll do a pipe bomb on the other one in a minute. Cole asks, right, as you probably heard it there, but let me rephrase it. He says the WWE fans, because he's got a good Twitter following, Dolph Ziggler, he's a good social media, people love him on social media and people follow him on Twitter. He had the audacity to turn around and say, is that him catering to them, or do WWE fans just follow him in general because they like Dolph Ziggler catering to WWE fans? Just when you think Michael Cole can't get any more retarded. And if you thought that was bad, you wait to hear the second question. But I'll say this on this. And credit to Dolph Ziggler for answering it, like a professional, and being a professional, and not a fucking retard like you, Cole. Catering to the WWE fans. People follow, like I said, Dolph answered it professionally. He gives you his answer, because he's the show-off. He backs it up every time he's in the ring. And he does. The reason why they cater to him, at least from my perspective, is because they realize he's so fucking talented. Unlike you idiots at WWE, okay? Not going to mention any names. Triple H, okay? Or whoever's booking there, or whatever. You guys need to wake up. Especially you, Cole, with your stupid journalism. But you guys need to wake up and smell the coffee and realize you've got one hell of a fucking talent there that needs a damn push. Because he could make you guys money, but the last time you did that, you got injured and all that, and you haven't done anything with him since. If there's any justice in the world, okay, he beats Miz at SummerSlam and becomes Intercontinental Champion. If there's any justice in them, okay, you can't. Fans follow Dolph on Twitter. He's a social media, phenomenon, if you will. Why? Because people respect him. People know he's talented. People know that he calls himself the show-off, or people call him the show-off, and he backs it up every freaking time he gets in the ring, okay? They understand that. The fans that follow him on Twitter understand that. The fans that support Dolph Ziggler understand that. Real wrestling fans understand that. This guy's come a long way from the days he used to be a Spirit Squad member. Less said about them, the better, okay? This guy is a former United States champion, a former World Heavyweight champion. Granted, nobody cared about the World Heavyweight title back then, but they did when he became champion. I don't think he's ever won the Intercontinental Championship. He's a former Money in the Bank winner too, okay? And you're telling me that the fans are catering to him, or he's catering to the fans? Cole, you're a fucking idiot, okay? Pipe Bomb 1, over. Now on to Pipe Bomb 2.
You use that word, not only today, but a lot, the show-off. It's great to have a nickname like that. But at some point, Dolph, you're going to have to back this up. And when does show-off become nothing more than just hype?
Now on to question 2 and Pipe Bomb about this. Right? Michael Cole proceeds to ask, as you've heard it there, and let me rephrase it again. He proceeds to ask Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, he goes around, walks around, calls himself the show-off. It's a cool nickname, but you have to back this up. And when does the show-off become a flash in the pan? Somewhere roundabout. You gotta back this up. Are you fucking blind? This is why Cole is so fucking retarded. I mean, out of JBL, Michael Cole, and King, if I had to choose one person out of them, it'd be Jerry Lawler, okay? Because, alright, Lawler has his daft ways, but he's the king. He's a legend. I mean, that's why probably Smackdown sucks, because it's got JBL and Cole on it. I can't believe Cole asked him the audacity. At some point, you have to back this up. And then he proceeds to call it, to say whether or not it's a flash in the pan. Or when does the point come to Dolph Ziggler that he realise maybe the show-off's just a flash in the pan? Oh my fucking god. Okay, I don't care if this is storyline, I don't care if this is whatever it is, but the only reason, Cole, in your words, there might be a point to this where it's Dolph Ziggler's a flash in the pan, or you have to back this up. The only way you can't see this, Cole, is the fact of your boys at WWE who haven't booked him right, okay? They're only just starting to, apparently, because he's got an Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam. But you are a fucking idiot, because you're just as narrow-minded and retarded as them goofballs that work with you, okay? Now, I love WWE. I will love WWE to the day I die. But the biggest thing I will not understand about WWE is WWE logic. Translation, booking. And that's the reason why you probably think, Cole, that it's a flash in the pan. You know, this. Maybe I've got that out of content. I don't know. He has been backing this up. Okay? He has been backing it up. He backs it up every time he steps in the damn ring. The only people that can't see that, Cole, is people like you and your stooges, you know, your corporate idiots, or blindfolds, or your stupid bookers that can't see it. I mean, as far as budget goes, they've already just got rid of the senior vice president of creative. This guy's been busting his ass since he stepped in the ring, since he broke away from the Spirit Squad thing. And he's been backing it up ever since. When he was the heel, and then he earned the fans' respect, and now look at him, he's on top of the world. He backed it up when he was Money in the Bank. He won the world title. Alright, injuries concerned that. But now you've dropped him down. I mean, you start WWE. This is how stupid WWE is. And this is nothing against Heath Slater. But because Heath Slater's now broke away and there's no more 3MB, he's tag teaming with Titus O'Neil. Apparently they're doing very well. And obviously this past week on Raw, you got to win over Seth Rollins to beat the clock thing. WWE now have started booking it. You know, started wanting to push him. You know what they're going to do? Push Heath Slater up there now to the upper echelons now? Bring Dolph Ziggler back to the Heath Slater spot? Wake the fuck up, WWE. Like I said earlier in the part 1 promo, Pipebomb that I did before we play part 2. Like I said, if there's any fucking justice in this world, in WWE, Dolph Ziggler will be Intercontinental Championship, will be the new Intercontinental Champion at SummerSlam. He will beat The Miz, he will be the Intercontinental Champion, and that will be his elevation back into the world title picture. Flash in the pan, he'll prove it at SummerSlam again. Not that he doesn't have to, it's just you, Cole, and you WWE morons, or the people that told you to say that, can't see it, because the fucking blind as a bat. The only people that can see it are the real wrestling fans, and the wrestling fans that watch Monday Night Raw or Friday Night Smackdown or WWE main event every single week or every single time he's on, and buy the pay-per-views to watch him on the pay-per-view. But then again, half the time he's never on the pay-per-view because he's always stuck on the pre-show. It's fucking bullshit the way you're using Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler is the man, and like I said, he's come a long way from once upon a time being a damn cheerleader, okay? He's come a hell of a long. Back in the days when he was the cheerleader, they all thought Kenny Dykstra was the talented one. Look how that turned out. Last time I saw one member with a chin, the one they used to call Jay Leno out the group, he ended up on Ring of Honor, never to be seen since. Fuck knows where Kenny Dykstra is now, and who's the Lone Ranger left out of that squad that was talented? Dolph Ziggler. So for fuck's sake, WWE, wake up, start booking this man right, give him what he deserves. He is not injury prone, as you put it. Wake the fuck up. And if there's any justice in this world, give him the damn Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, make him win against Miz, and then he can prove it by using the Intercontinental Championship as a stepping stone back to the world title, and he can do it by having a damn good title reign, at least until Wade Barrett gets back. Jesus fucking Christ, WWE, are you that moronic? Again, WWE logic, bad booking. Fucking sick of it. Sometimes I wish I was booking WWE, because I'll tell you right now, Dolph Ziggler would not be in the spot that he's in right now. Credit to Dolph Ziggler for being professional. Not that anyone would have blamed him getting up and smacking Cole in the mouth for his stupid questions. I mean, Triple H has nearly done it on occasions, and I don't think anyone would have blamed Dolph Ziggler for doing it. But like I say, not only is Dolph a professional, half the time Cole's not worth the time or the effort. It's just complete bullshit. Anyway, Pipebomb on. If you want to see the video, I'll leave the link in the description underneath in the YouTube pages or the WWE on Podomatic pages or whatever. You can see, you can watch the interview yourself. Fucking idiot Cole. God, I swear to God. Replace him with somebody that's good. Hell, don't bring Renee Young up. Don't put Renee Young on Superstars. I tell you what, sack Superstars. Bring her up to Raw. Stick her in Cole's seat. Right? Take JBL out, put William Regal in it, and do you know what? I'll leave King there. Leave King there. Because if I had to pick one of them out, it would be Jerry Lawler. Get rid of them two and put that in. Please. Either that or friggin' wake Cole up. God, he's so retarded. I don't know who's worse, him or JBL. Anyway, I digress. Moving on. Right, guys, just a few more bits before I leave you, just to calm me down. Hulk Hogan is due this week on Raw. I think this goes out Monday, tonight on Raw. And apparently, from what I've heard, or from what I've read, he's been teasing a possible NWO reunion. Apparently he tweeted some picture of him in the, back in the old days, the old NWO days. Hulk Hogan fueled the rumours of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash reuniting as the NWO on Monday night's Raw by posting an old WCW photo of the group with this caption: "The baddest crew on the planet. We could straighten out the Authority for life, brother." Is that a possible sign for an NWO reunion? I hope so. to be honest, because it'd be nice to see them back. Performance-wise, I don't know. But hey, if there's anyone who can straighten out the authority, it's the NWO. We'll have to wait and see on Raw, because this coming month, well, tonight on Raw, as this goes out, like I say, as tonight on Raw, this goes out, it'll be Hulk Hogan's birthday celebration. You know, they gave The Rock one, so I thought, hell, let's give Hogan one. So stay tuned for the Raw tonight, because I think Raw might be very interesting. Apparently Triple H is pissed off with the WWE fans. It was said by F4WOnline.com in this week's newsletter that Triple H is angry at WWE fans if they're not subscribing to the WWE network with the idea that fans are cheap. Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon have both reportedly been training hard with the goal of having a good match at SummerSlam. Good luck to them for that. And apparently NXT is moving to Wednesdays as well, from what I've been hearing. The plan is to move NXT to Wednesdays. And apparently also Smackdown, there's talk about Smackdown going back to Thursday nights, these regular time spot. I don't think, from what I've heard, I don't think the plan was ever moving to Friday nights, but there is talk about it going back to its regular spot Thursday nights. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know. But I tell you this right now, ladies and gentlemen, my opinion, and it's just my opinion, Smackdown needs a good kick in the fucking ass. It really does. And don't get me wrong, I like what WWE doing. It doesn't matter to me what WWE are doing, because I still watch it anyway, whether it's the brand extensions or not. But since everybody's being, backstage, everybody's backstage, at both shows and everything, and everybody does both shows now, and it seems to me that SmackDown has just become the B show, so to speak. That's what I've been told, or that's what I've seen, because there's not many things that take place on Monday Night Raw. That's just my opinion on that. I mean, back in the day, I don't know, maybe because JBL and Cole are on the show as commentators. Maybe that's why it sucked. But it just, I don't know. It really doesn't. To me, it just doesn't make sense why they've got SmackDown. I mean, at the end of the day, SmackDown would be best just to go, in my opinion. And have it go back just to Monday Night Raw and keep NXT and main event and that. Because SmackDown, this is say, and I hope it improves, in the near future. That's just my opinion on it. But since back in the days when SmackDown first started and going through the Attitude Era, and you look at SmackDown now, and you just think, God damn, that show's lost its mojo. And it's a shame, because SmackDown at one point was a great show. Now it's lucky it even is a show, to be fair. But again, that's just my opinion. Ricardo Rodriguez was released a couple of weeks ago, as noted, but apparently he was frustrated. That's why he was released, because he was frustrated, because he wanted to be a wrestler. Ricardo has been wrestling as El Loco on NXT, but when he got injured, they gave the spot, because he had a tag team with somebody on NXT, and they gave the spot to Sin Cara when he was injured. There were also apparently issues with Ricardo's physical not being to WWE standards. They reportedly set a weight goal, and they wanted him at, and in their mind, he was having trouble keeping up with it. And he also was working on the Spanish commentators table on a few occasions. But as far as the Spanish commentators go, 3 commentators proved to be too much. 3 commentators on a Spanish announce table proves to be too much. Why are the 3 commentators on fucking Monday Night Raw's table? JBL, Cole, and King. Maybe you can drop JBL and keep him on SmackDown and keep Raw to Cole and King again. Too much Spanish announce table. Too much commentators on the Spanish announce table, and then nobody does anything about the Monday Night Raw table. For fuck's sake. Again, WWE logic at its blatant best. Stupidity. For fuck's sake. Like I say, I've been WWE all my life. I've watched WWE since I was born. I've watched professional wrestling since I was born, basically. And I've watched WWE back in the days when it was the old WWF. Now, fast forward to today, I'd love to know who books WWE. Seriously. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. It really is. One final note. Wrestling great leaving WWE next year. Frustration over his role more. And the great that is leaving, ladies and gentlemen, WWE next year is none other than the American Dream. That's right, Dusty Rhodes. Apparently the guy's been working with developmental talent, with the likes of Prince Devitt and Nicole, the new guys coming through and shit like that. But apparently he's frustrated with his role. We noted earlier that Dusty Rhodes, who has been working in WWE's developmental for some time, gave Prince Devitt, the new guy, a tour of Performance Center when he arrived in Orlando. It is said that Dusty's responsibilities in NXT have demised over the past few years as his health has worsened. Dusty did lose a lot of weight, but reportedly underwent double hernia surgery recently. It has been reported how Dusty Rhodes got major heat on himself for putting his hand on Stephanie McMahon's face during an in-ring segment on September 30th, 2013 on Raw. Dusty has been in a bad position politically since then. It was said that Rhodes has been frustrated with his part-time role and he's talked about retiring sometime next year. Again, WWE bullshit at its blatant best. Anyway, that's it for me for the Wrestling Matters podcast, episode 19. Stay tuned to episode 20 next time around, which will be coming to you April 18th on my birthday week, by the way. That's right, I turn 30 the next day. Oh boy, I am 29 years old. And stay tuned for that next time. And also in the following week as well, August 25th, it will be a very special episode hopefully, if she can answer my Twitter messages. I know she's a busy girl, but I need to know. I'm a busy man myself. Vicky Earls, the Irish commodity, the girl that you probably have been hearing making appearances on Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast, and also she's made an appearance on the Vicious Rants from Tim Vicious. She will be appearing on my show on August 25th. Will she be alone? I don't know. I might keep it as alone. I might bring somebody else on. We'll have to wait and see, but it's a guarantee, hopefully, Vicky Earls will be on the show. But Vicky, if you listen to this, please answer my Twitter call. Please, in my Twitter messages. I need to know what's going down for that week. We need to make it happen. And like I say, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for downloading it, listening to it, promoting it, doing whatever you can to get it over to people. Keep doing it. Like I say, you get it on Stitcher Radio, YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and soon to be on Mixcloud. Very, very soon. Until next time, guys, for episode 20 of the Wrestling Madness podcast, my name is the Head Anthony Walker, the H, the E, the A, the D. Until next time, good night, goodbye.